Yeah, today is my birthday. Today I turn 25. My brain is supposedly fully developed. Maybe. I have been to work already. I got that done, and it is only midday. It is also 32 degrees today, which is perfection for me because I like the heat. But thankfully I do not actually have to be out in the heat. But I can enjoy it inside. I am planning today to do some vloggy stuff because why not document this day that is supposed to be significant? So I've already been to work. It was work, you know. It wasn't the worst, but it was work. It's only 12:16. It is pretty much, I've got all day. I don't have very many plans today because I did some stuff yesterday. I will put that in right now and then I'll continue.
Next one, good, good, next one, up. Up, go, no, up, go, that's right. Next one, go, up. Now just pull the other one. There you go. Yeah. Okay, start taking photos. See how you want to do, I guess.
It's so strange. It's so strange. You gotta smack some.
So that was a whole lot of fun. And it was really tiring, but it is Monday today, so I decided to not do very much today. I've already seen my dad. My mum will be around later. I'm probably gonna hang out with my sister today, and then I'm going to dinner with my brother later, which should be tasty because burgers are good and I want burgers. That's really all I want to do today for my birthday is get burgers. I want to give you some advice as someone who has lived for 25 years, and I know it's not like the longest time, but I feel like there are some things that I might forget in the future that I would like to document for my sake in the future, but also maybe I'll be able to help one of you with something that I struggled with when I was learning how to be an adult, because adulting is hard, and I've definitely grown a lot over the last couple of years, and I feel like milestones are important times in which to reflect and see how far you've come, I guess. But that'll be later. Right now, let me show you. I am playing Animal Crossing, and I have got a present from my mother in the game, so I'm excited to see what that is. Let me just check real quickly if it decides to load. What did I get from my mother? Oh, I got a cake. I really wish that they would give me something else, like some sort of clothing or something, but that's a personal preference. I have been like a little bit addicted to this game recently. I don't really play games. If you know me in real life, you know that I am not a gamer, but I do enjoy games, and I wish I had the attention span to play games, because there are a lot of games that like I know about because my siblings play them, but I've tried to sit down and play games, and it's very, very rare that things keep my attention. Animal Crossing is cute enough to keep my attention, which is... it's good. I'm glad that I have something where I can just like chill out, and it's not like I'm working on skill or anything. Which, I mean, I want to work on skills, but I also need time to chill the hell out, you know? Let me show you some things on my island. So here is my little character. Sprocket gave me this shirt, and I'm stoked on it. I want to go and... oh, actually, you know what? Before I do that, I want to show you my house. It's really... I changed it the other day to like a sea theme, and it's the worst. But it's pretty great at the same time. And I love them. They're so cute. I have a mermaid table. I have a cute clock. Everything's adorable in here. This is really hard. Look how cute. Why is she on her toes? That's so cute. Anyway, let's go see Sprocket. And Flo. But I am over Flo, and I want her to leave so bad. I wish she would heck off. And I'm currently in the middle of getting a few more villagers. Like, their houses are being built. I just have to get a bit more iron so that I can, oh, look, he's in the rain. Sprocket. And he's wearing the jacket I gave him. What a cutie. Hello. Hey. Rivalry. I love him so much. He's so cute. He's wearing the jacket. What a cutie. Oh my god. I'm also completely sick of Blathers. Like, he's starting to piss me off. He just won't shut the hell up and just take the things, and I'm sick of his bug hate. Like, bugs are great. What is your problem, you stupid bird? I liked him initially, and now I'm over him. Lord, I do not know what I've done. I have screwed this up. Today is not the day to be playing around with red lipstick, for heck's sake. Oy. Okay. So I'm 25 years old today, which I previously stated. 25 for me is a milestone, and I was unsure that I would be the person that I wanted to be, the kind of person that I idealized when I was younger. Like the girls that I saw who were 25 when I was younger. I was hoping I would be a certain kind of one of those girls by the time I got to this age, which I am happy to report I think I am. The girls that I used to admire were girls that had not so much their shit together, but more so they were very much themselves. They were adults, they were women, they were individuals. They weren't dependent on people for the most part, but then they still had strong relationships. And I feel like I have reached that point, and that makes me happy. For a while there, I was unsure that I would reach that point because life's a bit crazy, and I'm a bit crazy. So I felt like maybe I wouldn't quite achieve my goals. And honestly, in terms of actual goals, I absolutely have not reached the goals that I set for myself when I was younger to be done by this age. I wanted to be able to have conversations in Japanese by the time I was 25. That is not something I can do, but it is absolutely something I'm going to continue to work on because it is a long-term goal, not a short-term goal, because it's a whole language, and I don't know why past me thought that I'd be able to just be like, I don't know, maybe if I tried harder I could have, but you can't go back in time, so there's no point in regretting anything. I thought that I would not be working at my current place of work still by this point, but I still am. The thing that is different is that I have a different perspective on my work now, and it is not as bad as it was, which is nice because it was too much before. It was way too much, and I used to get stuck in patterns of negativity to the point where it was affecting my health, mental and physical health, which is not fun. Due to stress, I would amp myself up. I'm a bit of an overthinker, and so I would take a situation and then just overthink it and then build upon that overthinking for like a week straight and then put myself into a depressive state, and it just wasn't a good time. But fortunately, I feel like I have mostly moved past anxiety, depression, and mental states of complete unease. That is not saying that I'm completely over these issues. They are just issues that exist because I have them, and I don't think that they're ever going to go away, but I know how to manage them more, and I know how to navigate my issues and navigate life and interactions while dealing with these issues. And so now, after all of that rambling, I would like to offer some advice, specifically targeted toward young girls that are going through it, and just anyone actually, but I want to talk about anxiety in general and social anxiety. Social anxiety specifically because that's what I deal with. And I know that a lot of people do as well. Like, it's really hard to figure out how to interact with people, and it's like you're talking to them and then it feels like the conversation is going way faster than you can keep up with, and you have to, it's like, this is what used to happen to me, is someone would say something and then I would be like, oh, I have to respond. What can I respond with? Shit. My response time is over. Make any kind of noise. Say anything. Do anything. And then I would just sit there in silence, or just making faces and giving, like, putting across the wrong response because I was in here and not out here. I can assure you, the people that are talking to you aren't, for the most part, because obviously there are variables, are not going to be thinking this person is slow, they're being really awkward, what a loser. They're really, really not going to be thinking that in most cases. You have more time than you think you do, is my first piece of advice. A lot of people will listen, and especially if you are known to be someone who doesn't really speak that much. That's what I was. I've had people say, there was this time in school where I was like laughing with my friend, and someone from another year level was like, I didn't even know she could speak. And I was like, laughter, because it was very funny to me. But it is something that stuck with me because it's weird being the quiet person, you know? It's a strange experience, and then you get stuck being in that role, and then you think, oh, I'm just shy, I'm just quiet, and then you reinforce it in your brain. If you keep thinking, I am this, you're going to continue to be that because you're reinforcing it. You know, when in school, when you're learning, you write things down and you repeat things, and that's how you learn, right? That's how most people learn efficiently. It is the same thing with your brain. You are repeating things in your brain, and the more you repeat things in your brain, the more they stick. That goes with positive and negative. If you keep saying, I can't do this, I have anxiety, I'm the shy person, I can't speak to people, I'm really bad at this, I can't get this done, I'm unreliable, and you're repeating those things in your head, it's going to be the case. If you keep saying, I can get through this, I am capable of conversations, I'm getting so much better at this. I am really good at this stuff. I can interact properly. Then it's going to stick as well. You're going to, it's like fake it till you make it. It really, you know these sayings. Sorry, I'm just off on a rampage here. You know these sayings that you hear all the time. Like, you hear them all the time when you're a kid, and then when you get to a certain point in your life, you realize, oh, that's why people say them all the time. That's why it's something, that's why it's a saying, is because it makes sense. Fake it till you make it is one of those things. You hear it all the time. If you fake it, it will become reality. If you just keep pretending, it will become reality. If you keep saying things and you keep putting yourself in the direction that you want things to go, then it's going to end up that way because you're predisposing yourself to the situation. If you keep saying, I am good at this conversation, I can talk to people, I'm really good at conversations, you're going to get really good at conversations because you're going to pick up on patterns in conversations, you're going to pick up on all these little things that are going to make that manifestation a reality. I think that people overlook manifestation because extremes, either or, tend to make people avoid the middle ground where it's comfortable and beneficial without being what you don't want it to be. Does that make sense? I really hope that made sense. The second piece of advice in relation to that topic that I would like to put out there is that no one cares what you're doing. There will be people who act like they care, especially online. If you put something out there, people will comment on it no matter what it is and tell you their opinion. But let's start with real life. No one cares. You shouldn't base your life on how other people react to you. It should be you living your life in the world because you only have one life and you exist, well, depending on your beliefs, but for all intents and purposes, you only have one life, so live your life to the fullest, YOLO and all that, you know? So living life in response to how you think people want you to be is going to get you nowhere but being untrue to yourself and not having the best time because you're not doing the things that you want to do, you're doing the things that you think other people want you to do. If you're walking down the street and something's happening with you, you trip or something, no one cares. There might be one loser, maybe, that laughs at you. There may be, but like, laugh at them because what a loser is that person to laugh at someone who trips? Who doesn't trip? Everybody trips. You've tripped, I've tripped, people trip. If you're doing it, someone else has done it. If TikTok has taught me one thing, it is that everybody is living the same damn life. If you've experienced it, someone else has experienced it. It's like Rule 64, except not weird and in terms of just everyday stuff. If it exists here, it exists over here. No one's having original experiences over here. I feel like it's very rare to have an original experience, if it's even possible. I have not done the maths, don't ask me, but I know for a fact that if something's happened, it's happened before. It is not unusual. If you think something is weird, it probably isn't because everyone else is doing it. That doesn't go for, obviously, things that are illegal and such. But if this can justify you behaving the way you want to behave in obviously a legal manner, then there you go. I spent too much time being cautious and looking to others for approval, and it really got in the way of the things that I wanted to accomplish. I would say things about things that I liked, and then immediately I could feel my eyes directly dart towards someone and be like, how are they reacting to that? Can I continue with this conversation? Are they in approval? You don't have to have other people's approval to behave the way you want to behave. You can be a complete arsehole. You can just talk about the things that you like. it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You can do it. You literally can. Whether it's appropriate or not is another thing, but that's not really the point. For the majority of things, you can talk about what you like, and you can do what you want. And it isn't really anyone else's business. It's just your own business. If they don't want to partake in the conversation, they won't partake in the conversation. It's not about, you're not supposed to accommodate everyone. I think that that is a downfall that a lot of people kind of fall into. And I know that I know people, and I was like that, where I wouldn't behave the way I wanted to behave because I would try and morph my behavior around the specific people that I was with. The problem came when I was with people who I acted differently around. So I was shy around these people but not around these people, and it would clash when they were around each other. And so I had to kind of like realize that I should just be me, and then I'll be me and the same with everyone. Does that make sense? So I think, to recap, no one cares what you're doing, and be yourself, because that's how you live in fulfillment. Pleasing other people should not be the way you live your life. Obviously, consideration is important for the people who care about you, but for the most part, I think anxiety goes hand in hand with people pleasing, and it can hold you back for way too long if you don't get a handle on it. Now, I'm not expecting you to take this in and just be able to apply it, because it takes years of experience and practice, but I really hope that these things can help in you overcoming things, so that the time in which you're feeling the anxiety of being an adult and its overwhelmedness, I hope it reduces the time that you feel these feelings. Anyway, that is what I have for now. If I think of any more advice, I will add it in later on. I'm going to finish this and then probably play more Animal Crossing. So I got bored of Animal Crossing, and so I decided to do some filming, some stuff for TikTok-y. And so I did that. Footage will be right next to me. And now my dad gave me licorice because he can't eat it anymore, but I can eat it, and he knows I like it, so he buys it for me, and I think he's trying to live through me. That's my conclusion. But anyway, I'm going to put them into jars to store them so that I don't have to eat them all at once. to you as well. Oh god. Sit. Sit. Yeah. Oh, it stretches. Aww, good girl. Good stretch. So, I would like to wrap up my day, but I also remembered some more advice that I wanted to give you, assuming you face the same issues that I faced when I was trying to be an adult, trying to transition from kid to adult. I'm still obviously not the most grown up, but I definitely don't feel like a kid anymore. I think that it isn't spoken about enough that transitioning from a kid to an adult is a really hard time. And it comes with its own set of issues. Like, you hear about like issues when you're older, and you hear about issues when you're a teenager, but I don't know, at least for me, I never really heard anything about people going through stuff when they were transitioning into adulthood, which is weird. And maybe they did say stuff and I just wasn't paying attention, I don't know. But there's a few things. I used to be afraid to take up space. I used to be afraid that everybody else in the world was existing in a normal manner and I was the thing that was sticking out, and I didn't know how to behave, and that made me stick out. But first of all, plenty of people don't know how to behave, so you don't really stick out when you are like that, because people are probably used to interacting with people who are like that, because again, you're not alone. If something's happening somewhere, something is happening somewhere else. So I thought that I was, because you have your own experience, right? Like, you can only see through your eyes, so it feels different. Does that make sense? Like, you feel your experience is your experience, you know? You feel like you're the outsider because you can only experience stuff through yourself, so there's no other filter. It's just whatever you've experienced, and you know, like, there's this filter here, and the filter is made up of what you've put there. It's not their filter, it's your filter, because it's your head. Do you know what I'm saying? So pretty much you're only stopping yourself for the most part, variables again, but I used to feel like I was taking up space. I used to feel like I wasn't wanted in situations, and if I just didn't interact, if I stayed silent, if I just listened, I would be perceived more normally and less weirdly than if I were to say things, because I was afraid of screwing up and embarrassing myself, I guess. But it kind of led to the opposite, because people would be confused why I wouldn't say anything, because normal people don't just sit there and say nothing. But you're basically, what I'm saying is, you're fine. You're absolutely fine to take up space. Taking up space is normal. Other people get to take up space, why shouldn't you get to take up space? You exist, you didn't choose to exist, so you have to take up space. You're allowed to take up space. Your existence is valid, and you should be able to feel like your existence is valid. I didn't for a while. I felt like I was invading, I guess. I felt alien to the world, even among people that I knew. It was really weird, and it has caused a lot of issues, and I really hope that maybe you can gain a perspective that can help you not go through some of the things that I did. Not that it's the worst thing ever, but it's not really the point. Secondly, I'm an overthinker, right? So I used to, I mean, I still overthink things, but in terms of social interactions, I used to run the conversation over and over and over in my head after it had happened. And I did this, look, I'm a postie, right? and this was happening while I was talking to people when I was out delivering. They would say things and then it would just be normal interactions, but it was just like, hey, how's it going? Good, you? Good. Here's your mail. Thanks, mate. Catch you later. Have a good day. It was literally that, and it wasn't even bad, but every single conversation I had with someone for the next however many stops I had to go, maybe it would be like it depends on the conversation, but like a few streets, maybe a few letterboxes, it just kept going over and over in my head. And it would get to the point where it would screw up what I was doing. Like I would miss a letterbox and have to go back and put it in the thing because I was just in my own head and I just kept repeating this thing that wasn't like, I was like, was that okay? Am I fine? Did I interact like a normal person? And it's a lot, and I got really tired because I was using so much energy to overthink everything, and it really takes a toll after a while. And I know that it's normal to do this kind of thing when you have social issues, but if you can train it away, it can do so much for you. I went about training it away by actively telling myself, stop thinking about it. Every single time I would have the conversation with the person, I would continue to ride, think about it, and then I'd be like, stop thinking about it. Think about what you have to do after work. Thinking about the things you want to accomplish. Think about anything else. And just stop repeating conversations in your head. And after a while of like pulling myself out of it mentally, even saying things out loud, because I have permanence issues as well. That's a whole other thing. But sometimes I have to say things out loud in order for my brain to actually listen. You know, sometimes when I'm saying things in my head, it's not really, it doesn't click. But if I say it out loud, if I validate it in my ears, does that make sense? I actually can change the way my brain is. So I would be like, stop thinking about it, think about this. And look, when you're a postie for a long time, you are alone for a lot of the day, every single day. So you end up talking to yourself anyway. But that's not what we're talking about right now. So I pulled myself out of it, and it was really, honestly, one of the best things I ever did. Being able to put things aside is a skill. And when you're a teenager, it's really hard to not overthink everything that everyone's saying, because you're trying so hard to fit in, and you're trying to find a place, and you're trying to feel like yourself, and you don't know yourself yet because you haven't experienced enough to have a sense of self and identity. That's why people go through phases and all that, you know. So it's really hard to not overthink everything that everyone says. But if you can get comfortable enough with the way that you behave and push out these perspectives that you think people are thinking about you, it really can be life-changing. I know that it is different for everyone in how they will be able to change that kind of thing, but I just talked myself out of it, basically. Additionally, I used to say things in my head, right? I'd be like, this is the correct thing to say in response to that. But then I felt like I was cheating if I actually said that thing out loud, or it was embarrassing because, like, I was embarrassed internally because I had already thought something, so I can't just say exactly the same thing again because I already said it to myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's pretty dumb. So for an example, I would be like having a conversation, here's a dumb example, okay? So someone would be talking about a cat, right? Cat, come here. I need you as an example. Come here. Come here. Ugh. Say someone said something about this cat, my cat, right? Cat? Yes? And they were like, oh, I think he's orange. What a good orange cat. I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, he's not actually orange, he's cream. He's like a blonde cat, like a Labrador is blonde. He's not orange. And then out loud, I'd be like, he's not an orange cat. And I would be like, you can't say the thing that made more sense to make the context make more sense. I would just go to like a basic thing and then sound like a dickhead because I would be embarrassed to say the one thing that made sense because I've already said it. Does that make sense? Are you having that? He's drooling all over me. It's really gross. You're really gross. But really cute. You're so cute. Thank you for being an example, buddy. Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you say it in your head, it is perfectly fine to repeat it out loud. If you have to practice the same thing over and over in your head before you can say something out loud, it is perfectly fine for you to then say it out loud. You don't have to feel like you can't say it. Obviously that's practice as well. But say someone has a really cool hat and you're like, I really like your hat, I really like your hat, I really like your hat, inside your head, and then the person walks past and you're like, yeah, your hat's cool. Your hat's cool is a lot more awkward than I really like your hat. Oh boy. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely fine to be like, I really like your hat. Even though it sounds practiced and maybe you feel like it might sound practiced when you talk to the person, it probably won't. It'll probably sound more natural than you think it does. Ow. Oh my god. Ow, ow, ow. Cat, please. Oh, he's gotten comfy now. Okay. Now, I hope that anything that I've said can help you. And I want to do more kind of advice things just for myself, but also if hopefully it can help someone. Because it's a hard time. It's a really hard time. Existence is hard. I would take any help. So I hope that this can help you. And now I would like to wrap up my day. My birthday has been pretty decent this year. Like I said earlier, I went to a garden yesterday and that was really, really nice, and I appreciated that my bestie was dressed up as well. And I really appreciated being there with my sister and my brother as well because they're great. And my dog, she's cute. Anyway, it was a really good time. And today was really chill. I just hung out with my sister all day and did like painting. I'll show you what I painted. Put it here. And I played Animal Crossing and I ate at a restaurant and it was so nice, and I got like 800 freaking happy birthdays from people online, and I appreciate it. If you said happy birthday to me and you see this video, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm in a position now where I feel like I have gained traction with the things that I want to achieve, and I feel confident in going forward, and I don't feel like I'm just doing what everybody wants me to do. I feel confident in my limits, and I feel confident in the amount that I can do, and I don't feel like I am limiting myself. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just really happy. I think I'm really happy. I'm still incredibly young, and there's still a lot of time to accomplish all the things that I want to accomplish, and I think putting time limits on things is valid, but also shouldn't be a thing that makes you feel negative because you haven't done something by a certain time. I definitely had goals to have reached by this point in my life, but you can't predict life, and you can only do so much, and you have to deal with the cards that you've been dealt. So considering everything, I think I've done a pretty good job, and I'm excited for the next year because I want to focus on, now I don't want to jinx myself, but I really want to focus on my health. I need to get my wisdom teeth out. Let me just like give you some like things that I want to do this year, just so I'm like putting it out into the universe as they like, just hold me accountable, okay? I really want to get my wisdom teeth out because this one here is growing in and it really freaking hurts, and it didn't hurt today, which is nice. I didn't have to deal with it, but it's been hurting for the last like week. So in the new year, I want to get my wisdom teeth out, and I need to deal with some health issues, not mental health, actual physical health issues. Also mental health. I mean, mental health is a continuous battle. But I think I feel better, and I think I know more now what I need to do in order to stay mentally healthy. So I also want to get back into yoga, and I want to work out more. I want to reach health goals that I have, you know, like I have obviously work goals as well, and like career goals and stuff like that, but in terms of the main things I want to accomplish next year is health, and I'm not going to compromise the other things that I'm doing for my health, which sounds backwards, but I just mean I really want to put a focus on health stuff, and if I can incorporate that into the other things that I'm doing, then good. And I think that I'll be able to. I hope that the next year is prosperous, and by the time I'm 26 I will have accomplished the things, or at least most of the things that I have set out for myself. I'm confident, and it's a good feeling because confidence is literally only a thing I've developed this year. There was not giving a fuck before, but that is a totally different thing to confidence. I actually have confidence, and I think a large part of that comes from TikTok. Because for the most part, like obviously there's haters gonna hate, but it's been such a life-changing experience for me. It's been a very perspective shifty, and it's given me a lot of confidence in things that I had to work really hard in erasing from my brain previously. It's like it like put some things I was working on into like overdrive and like just wiped them out. And so if you follow me on TikTok and you have been nice to me, thank you so much. Honestly, truly thank you. I really appreciate your support. I'm not a particularly emotional person. I don't really tend to cry, but I'm feeling the feelings that would be associated with someone crying if they were an emotional person. You feel me? I don't know how to express myself. Honestly, truly thank you. I really appreciate you, and I mean, sorry, even if you don't follow me on TikTok, if you're seeing this, thank you, because that means you're supporting what I'm doing. And this far into the video, I've got a lot of footage. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but it's gonna be a long video. So if you're still here, thank you so much, and I will see you soon. I'm 25 now.